Good day, dear chess fans. In this video we'll talk about the World Women's Rapid Chess Championship, which ended not long ago in Warsaw, marked by the complete triumph of the Russian chess player, international grandmaster, ex-world champion Alexandra Kosteniuk. She scored 9 points in the rounds and left no chance for her opponent after in the first 2 days of play. Alexandra Kosteniuk had a fantastic score of 7.5 out of 8, and having played carefully on the final day of the competition, Alexandra Kosteniuk maintained her lead over her rivals and celebrated victory. By the way, in the rich career of this outstanding Russian chess player, Alexandra was the first to win the World Rapid Chess Championship. Kosteniuk played many interesting games, including against her compatriot Valentina Bunina, Ukrainian Maria Muzichuk and Indian chess player Humpy Kamara. But for the very original game, Alexandra Kosteniuk played in the 6th round against the young Ukrainian chess player, international grandmaster among women and international master Natalia Buxa, was serious so far. The success of this chess player is the victory at the World Championship among girls under 20 in 2015. E4 played by Alexandra Kosteniuk. Natalia the Buxa responded with the move c5 Sicilian defense, Knev 3 knight c6 and the Rossolimo variation bishop b5 g6 plays the Buxa, and after castling the bishop g7 white plans to play d4 black attack the pawn, developing the knight rook e100 and h3 bishop. Under attack defense a6 bishop 4 black, the queen will fall under the attacks of white's minor pieces, therefore queen c7 plays Natalia Buxa, moving the queen to the legal square. In social media the idea arises to play b5 plays Alexandra Kosteniuk knight d5 bishop b3 knight b6 and white at the end play d4, reinforcing the pawn e5, and Natalia the Buxa slows down the further advancement of the white pawn by moving d7 d5 on the isle does not give white a spatial advantage. So bishop f4 plays Alexandra Kosteniuk, and after bishops at 5 o'clock defend, creating the idea e6 rook ac1 rook ac8. White has already completed development and is starting to take concrete actions. Bishop f6 is playing. Russian chess player Ukrainian is attacking the central. Queen e3 took taken, knight b4 threatens to invade the knight on d3, so the exchange on c8 and knight h4, as opposed to white, creates threats on the king's side. 3I attack the rook, then retreats to e3. White already wants to bring the rook to the king's side, and in this position the Buxa needed to give Shah an obvious move. And after king h2 take pawn 3. You can't move because h1, but g4 suggests itself, and here we take with the bishop in case of capture. Of course a triple fork and loss of the queen, so rook g3 rook h1 move king g2 and capture on h3. Interesting interaction of black pieces on white's kingside, but the knight is under attack, so we take away rook hits g3 f, an intermediate move with the threat of mate cannot retreat because the squares f3 and g2 stink. Just take the pawn, and then the king g3 bishop e6 turned out about early. But Natalia Buxa hurried to take on e5, and Alexandra Kosteniuk plays bishop c2. Black will go knight c4, then after the exchange white has excellent chances to attack the black king, for example rook d8 e6. If you take the pawn then the pawn is weakened, and they took the queen g6 and k white rook connects to the attack. So on e6 the emphasis is not ether with d4, protecting the g7 square, but after the exchange on f5 queen g5 queen g7 white takes on f5 and continues the attack, again connecting his rook. But an exchange occurs and the knight beats f5 if you take the knight with the queen. Then rook e7 with the threat of a moto on the queen 6, rook b7 d2, and here white is first taken on h7, double blow of queen 6, and take the dangerous pawn d, getting a decisive material advantage. The chess player plays e6, opening the 7th line and attacking the knight with the second pawn, but Alexandra Kosteniuk, having calculated further options, boldly takes on e6. White has two pieces under attack, of course. The rook cannot be taken in view of the moto queen g7, but what will happen after capturing the knight, because there is no check vertically from the rook side? We just play rook e3, returning the rook to its original position. King h2 catches c6, attacking the queen, but after rook g3, rook g6 taken, took queen g6, double strike of course needs to be continued. Because after queen g7, queen hits b6, black plays d2, threatening to promote the pawn. The best move is queen e6 check. In this position, white queen retains maximum mobility. King h7, queen h5, king g8, and knight b1. White finally copes with a dangerous past opponent. Took queen d1 and captured on d2. White has an extra piece after rook e6. Natalia Box moves her passed pawn forward. It can't be removed because black takes the moto rook on g7. Not, it turns out, but Alexandra Kosteniuk did not intend to take this pawn. She plays rook 7, creating the threat of mate queen g7 and allowing Natalia Boxer to put the second queen on the board. The Ukrainian puts the queen and also with check, and after that king h2 turns out very beautiful position for black, two queens for white, but the threat of checkmate is a very serious factor. It is a big material advantage for black to get out of this ticklish to immediately take the rook, but there will be a knight e7 fork, so Natalia Box tries another chance, gives a move with the queen from c7, hoping for a capture queen, but of course Alexandra Kosteniuk understands that if she gives up her strong rook for one of the black queens, then there will be no threat to moto. Therefore, the Russian simply puts a pawn on f4, which is a knight e7 fork, so Natalia Box tries another chance, gives a move with the queen from c7, hoping for a capture queen, but of course Alexandra Kosteniuk understands that if she gives up her strong rook for one of the black queens, then there will be no threat to moto. Therefore, the Russian simply puts a pawn on f4, which is under the protection of the white queen. She already had to take the rook fork king f7, and there is no immediate capture of the rook, and the exact move of the queen 7, and after the king e6 the capture on c8 was taken, queen g6 move, and white simply has 3 extra pawns. The hurricane from Alexandra Kosteniuk occurred even without the participation of knight a3. But if the advantage is realized, this is an easy piece. White will of course need king c7, the queen captures d5, the 4th pawn takes. Alexandra Kosteniuk, Natalia Buxa finally hides the king on the queen side, but the game is already decided. Make a move with their knight after queen c1, gives a move with the queen, king a7 b3, defending the knight, queen f1. Black doesn't even have any checks, and after knight b6, queen d4, Natalia Buxa surrendered. Very interesting and super original game. Congratulations to Alexandra Kosteniuk and her many fans on an outstanding success.